Well, good midday, good midday, good midday, good midday. Seems like it's trying to get a little bit better. No guarantee, but at least it appears that things are getting better. It's going to warm up a little bit, and then a change is going to come. That's just kind of the way it is. Unfortunately, this is some of the strangest weather that we have seen in quite some time, but I won't complain. Wouldn't do any good anyway. Guess what? Ain't nobody listening. So we're grateful to God for each and every one of you who are coming on to be with us on today. We are thankful to God for you just taking time out of your busy, hectic, chaotic sometimes schedules to say, we just want to be here. And I'm grateful to God for that. Nancy, Cora, bless you. Doe, Kathy, Lady Bowling, Sherry, Chaplain Hearns, thank you so much for being here with us and sharing with us on today. Timothy, thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. Elder James Mansell, bless you. I knew you were going to do that. 86 degrees must be not, but my day is coming. We want you to enjoy yourself, okay? And it looks like you really are, okay? Rhonda, Valerie, Sharon, Linda, thank you so much for being here. 86 degrees. I love it. I love it. Minister Clay Johnson, thank you for being here with us on today. Trinette, bless you. Good midday to you, one and all. Minister Sarah, bless the Lord for you being with us on today. We're grateful to God. Jemison, thank you so much for being a part of our learning experience on today. Vernice, bless you. Bless your sweet potato soul. Glad that you are here. Ethel, good to have you here with us on today. Please share, please share. Some of you have already done it, but we ask that you would be so kind as to do that. It would be tremendous. Okay, Pat, good midday to you. Okay, Barbara, Tamika, good midday to you too. Thank y'all so much for being a part of this day. We are grateful to God. And Sister Thomas, bless you for being here. Cecile, how you be? How you be? How you be? Thank you so much for being here. And so I want to remind you, you're not going to see Legend, not today. His, I'm not sure which one it is. I don't know if it's my daughter has him or the other grandmother has him, but that's how that goes. I am not the permanent babysitter. That's not gonna happen. Okay. Um, the one thing that I do and I will and have done. Misty, thank you for being here. Denise, bless you. I help my granddaughter, but I'm not going to be a hindrance to my granddaughter in thinking because she's shisty. Okay. Thank you so much, Denise, for letting us know that all is well with the media presentation because she will take advantage. And I'm not going to have that. Gaither, Carletta, Katrina, I'm Ella Mae, dear. I'm not, nope, 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 nope. Because then the next thing you know, and she did get me one time. I thought she was going to work. She went to get her hair done. We don't do those. And I know as much as I love that little boy, he has a mother, and in order to teach responsibility every now and then, you've got to do some tough love. Okay. All right. Yeah, I know he is. I know he's missing all of you. And I know Victor, bless you, my friend. And listen, we are believing God that as you go through that radiation period, that God will strengthen you, and that some of the side effects from those types of treatment won't be nowhere near as severe as what you've heard. Yeah, I just, um, I've helped my children, my grandchildren, and now I'm great grandchildren. But the point is, um, I'm not going to be here forever, and so I am not going to create cripples. Christine, bless you for being here. I'm not going to create young people whose dependency upon other adults is so strong that when those adults are no longer there. Tori, oh my goodness, how are you? It's so good to see you. Okay. And that's what it has to be. It has to be tough love. And as much as sometimes tough love hurts, it's not really what you want to do. But my parents taught us we ain't gonna be here forever. You got to learn how to make it on your own, and that's the same thing that I'm passing on to her. And yeah, she looks crazy, and yeah, she gets upset, and yeah, Catherine, bless you, Les. Minister Marcia, thank you for being here. And she has her little conniptions, but she already know you can fall out and have a fit. Matter of fact, it was funny. Little man decided, and I know he's teething and he's irritated, and he decided to have him a little conniption, and so he went down on the floor and it hit his head, and he did it to himself, and he looked at me and he started crying. I was like, "You cry all you want to." I said, "Little boy, conniptions don't work here." And guess what? I believe that boy is so highly intelligent, it's not even funny. Okay. Ayana, Barbara, he gets back. He reaches up his hand, he gets me, he hugs me, and then he went to sleep. Because he, and you have to understand where babies are. They cannot communicate, but you look for things in their behavior. He's chewing on stuff like crazy. Even when I gave him a little water, he can't have a lot of water, but because of some issues that he has with his bowel movements and his mama didn't give him what he needed, I gave him a little water. He was chewing on it. Okay. And you could just tell he's got two teeth at the bottom that have come through. He's got two in the top and he's got some in the back. So he's just a miserable little boy. And no matter what you do, I had put him to sleep twice. He wakes up in 10 minutes, and that's not like him. But then as soon as he does go to sleep, and then his mama comes home from work, and she a little loud, and next thing I know, she wakes him up. Darlene Madison, thank you for being here. Pee-wee. And so he was really upset with his mama. And so I didn't make it any better. I said, "Come here, baby." And he reaches out toward me, and my granddaughter had a conniption. I'm going to say it like the old folk used to say. That little boy know what side his bread is buttered on. Okay. And so I'm raising him in love. Yes, he is spoiled. Yes, he gets just about everything he wants. But he also understands at 7 months, because he's that smart, that there are still consequences that have to be dealt with. And so he's learning. And he's a quick learner. He's a lot quicker than I was at 7 going on 8 months. So thank God for all of you that are watching here. Well, I got some questions. And this is not one of the 3 that I'm going to ask, but it's a part of my introduction. How's your attitude been lately? Well, matter of fact, can I add a little bit more to it? Hey Thea, how are you? How is your attitude. Yes, I'm drinking water and eating healthy. Everybody else should be doing it too because we're trying to make sure we stay healthy. I want us to think, have you ever or do you still don't really care what comes out of your mouth? Are you to the point that you use this excuse, I've always been this way, I'm gonna be this way, people better accept me for who I am? And all of that could be very true. But the question is, since you are a new creation, old things have passed away, and behold, all things have become new. How much new is in you? Or how much old do you still hang on to because, Gina, it's just comfortable? It also can become a barrier. It also can become something that we use to intimidate people. It's also could be something that we use. Hey, Kim, how are you? Good midday to you. It also could be something we use to guard and protect ourselves. Since you're a new creation, since you're a new creation in the Lord, and old things have passed away, how much has actually passed away? Because my first question is, do you even care? Do you even care that sometimes you can be overwhelmingly abrasive? Do you care that sometimes your aggressiveness? Hey, Lynn, how are you? Your aggressiveness couldn't be misinterpreted. Could it be the fact that I'm just going to make people accept me the way I am, though the way you are is not the way you should be? Could it be? And there are generational curses. There are things that are passed down from generation to generation. We all have them in our families. We all have them. It's a part of our DNA. But Sharon, it is difficult to recognize the need for change when who we are has been this way for so long, and to change it actually. But I have a phrase that I made up a long time ago, and I'm gonna share it with you and see if this kind of gets your attention. When the pain of change is less than the pain of staying the same, you will change. I'm going to say, hey, Winnie, I'm going to say it one more time. When the pain of change is less than the pain of staying the same, you will change. Okay? Matthew chapter 18, and starting at the 6th verse, because I need us to see this. Because anytime we are abrasive and antagonistic in what we do and what we say, and we don't really care what anybody else thinks, is a sign of past trauma that the enemy is using to keep you from being influential in the lives of other people. Because you got to remember, hey, Mary Moss, how are you? Ida, bless you for being here. I want you to think about this. You have not been recreated to be a repellent. You have not been born again to repel. You have been born again to attract. Lord, have mercy. Help me to teach this like you gave it to me, okay? And so in the midst of all of this, the question that has to be understood and recognized is that in the midst of all of this, what do I need to do What do I need to do to be what God is calling me to be when my family trees, proclivities, and tendencies are still very much alive? Let's talk about, look at what he says. Look at what he says. It's what he says. Whoever causes one of these little ones who believes in me to sin, it would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and that he was drowned in the depths of the sea. Woe to the world because of offenses, for offenses must come, but woe to that man by whom the offense comes. Oh, God. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get through this all today, but I really want to get into a little bit of it. I've said things like God has always been on the side of the disenfranchised. God has always been on the side of those who are abused, used, humiliated, taken advantage of. In Matthew 18 gives me hope against a world that claims to know Christ, but has no real evidence of them knowing him. Now I'm getting ready to get a little deep. I look at the fact that a certain television network settled out of court, and yet still that network still promulgates lies and deceit. I look at people and I become overwhelmingly frustrated with it. The fact that it seems that the justice of God takes so long to manifest itself, but yet still what I have learned about God is the time period it takes for him to begin the process of retribution usually comes after a long period of time of persuasion by God that what they are doing, the way they are living, the way they are interacting is outside of his will. Oh yeah, I'm gonna deal with it the way it need to be dealt with. And so when I look at the things that have happened, when I look at police still killing young black men, and I'm gonna say something, and I know I'm not going to be liked about it. There is studies that have showed that young people don't mature until they get to the age of 25. And so when you see a 17 and an 18-year-old running from a situation, it's because they don't have the maturity to process consequences. Lord Jesus, help me, because I want you to understand. I want you to understand that. See, this is a different age. We at that age understood consequences because we had disciplinarian parents. Okay. So at a young age, we learned consequences, but we are dealing with a generation that has no clue about consequences because for the most part, they have done what they want to do. They say what they want to say. They act any way they want to. And they actually don't believe that nothing serious can happen to them, though they have seen over the years where when you flee somebody, you have actually given them the right to kill you. And things can be made up, stuff can be planted. There's all kinds of things that can take place. Hear what I'm saying? Because we just can't blame everything on one group of people without looking at the behavior that has been studied that is being used to exterminate young people. Okay. I know y'all probably wish y'all hadn't tuned in on this one. But what gives me hope in the midst of what sometimes appears to be a hopeless situation is Matthew 18. Whoever causes one of these little ones to believe in me to sin. Now I got to deal with that for just a moment because that's where I have to be careful what I do, where I do it, and how I do it. Now, somebody's going to take this the wrong way, but you just got to take it. That's the reason why there are choices to drink or not to drink. It's not that the Bible says anything about you not being able to drink. It's actually not there. It says, and be not drunk with wine, where is debauchery, but be filled with the Spirit. So we got to understand something. What causes us not to do this is because we have to make sure that our public display of behavior is not controlled by beer, wine, liquor, or reefer, or crack, or whatever the case may be, but that we are controlled by the Holy Spirit. Because if my meat or my behavior causes someone to stumble, then I need to augment and change that behavior. It's not that I can't do it. It's not that Paul is very clear about that. It's not that I can't participate in some things, but I choose not to because I'm really not sure of the consequences that will happen in somebody else's life by observing my behavior, which causes them to stumble or to create an addiction that was promulgated. Y'all not hearing what I'm saying? That was promulgated through observation of my behavior. All right, go ahead, Tony. Not a problem. Okay, thank you for being here. I want you to hear this. I choose not to do some things. I choose not to do some things because I don't know who's watching me. So I've got to make sure that my behavior does not cause someone to sin. Look at what Jesus said. He says, because if it happens, it would be better that a millstone were hung around your neck and you were drowned in the sea. Lord, have mercy. I know I'm teaching this. That's why y'all real quiet. I know I'm teaching this because here's what we have to understand. I have liberties while I'm in Christ. I have them. I choose not to participate in them because I don't want someone who is weaker to end up developing a habit that they can't break because I can do it and they can't. Think of what it says. And it says, woe to the world because of offenses, for offenses must come, but woe to that man by which the offense comes. Are y'all not hearing me? Y'all not hearing me. So here's what gives me hope. I watch the lies that are consistently said. I watch the deceit. I watch the racism. I watch all of that. But if you have studied a modicum of history, you will see that God will bring retribution. Oh my God. Oh my God. With my eyes, I will behold the reward of the wicked. Now, listen, that doesn't mean that I don't have a right to protest. That's not what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that I don't have a right to stand up for my rights. That's not what I'm saying. It does not say that I don't have the right to assemble with those who want justice. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that in the midst of that, I got to make sure that my behavior does not become like the offender. And by doing so, I sit back, I do my civic duty, I vote, I do what I need to do to make sure that the appropriate people are in office. And if the wrong ones are there, I coalesce with other people to make sure we get rid of them and we put people in there that are of the right standard. And again, this can go into a whole lot of issues that are going on in the political realm. But for those who are intentionally destroying people intentionally, this is not an accident. I'm not talking about something that may happen accidental. I'm talking about people who are scheming and scamming and doing all they can to make sure that other people are brought down, demised, destroyed because of the lies and the deceit that they are putting out here. God says, I'll deal with them. Woe to the one who offends anybody who loves the Lord, even for those who claim they said some kind of foolishness that somebody need to be released from killing somebody because he's a Christian. That reminds me of what used to take place back in Big Mama's time when they was lynching us and castrating us and doing all other kind of stuff in the name of the Lord and had a Bible up under their hand. Everything that claims to be Christ-like is not of Christ. Everything that claims to know the Lord does not know him, because to know him is to change your behavior so you can be like him. And all I'm saying today is make sure that you are on the right side of the Lord, because to be on the wrong side is going to be detrimental. I'm going to deal with the rest of this tomorrow. This is as far as I'm going. I'm going to deal with the rest of this thing about hands and feet and all this other kind of stuff, because I think some people have misnomers about what Jesus is talking about. And when we come together on tomorrow, I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to give you what you need and do what needs to be done so that I can share with you. You know, it's a dangerous thing to fall into the hands of an angry God. And so you got to be careful. And I know you got your freedom to do what you want to do. You can say what you want to say. You can drink what you want to drink. You can smoke what you want to smoke. You can do all of that. I'm not even dealing with that. I'm dealing with the fact that there could be an innocent person, somebody whose weaknesses they are struggling with. And when they see you and they figure that that's a license to participate, and it causes them to fall, to stumble, or to sin, God says, I'm going to deal with you. I'll never want to be in that position where the hand of God is removed from me, or blessings of God are withheld from me, because I have decided that I don't care what nobody say. I'm my own person, and I'm going to do what I want to do the way I want to do it. And who cares what anybody else says? Listen, I got to go. I love y'all. I love you with the love of Jesus Christ. Y'all take care. Keep that Walker, Turdage, Boundary family in prayer. We will be over at Greater Friendship on Friday. And don't forget, 6:30 this evening, you better come on in here and join in with me for midweek worship as we continue our exploration. I got 3 books that I'm getting ready to start reading, and I think there's some good stuff getting ready to come down the pike that's going to help us to be the kind of people that God is calling us to be. Listen, love you from the depths of my heart. May God bless you. May he keep you. I'll see y'all at 6:30. Is